appointment today.
It's Real Country. It's 550 at 92.9 WAME. Good morning. It's 2 minutes after 10 o'clock on a gorgeous Tuesday. All right, there's a few clouds, but the sun is just trying to come out. 65 is our temperature right now from the Clean Tech Weather Center high atop the Clock Tower building here in beautiful downtown Statesville, North Carolina, USA. We do have listeners overseas. So, their name is Bjorn and Sneakumlunri. Here, if it's a Tuesday and if it's 4 minutes after 10 o'clock, that makes time for Downtown on Tap with Liz Petree.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you?
Doing good. You're a busy girl.
As always.
Let me tell you, all the stuff going. We just finished with Art Crawl.
Yes, it was wonderful.
And we've got Wine Walk coming up.
We do. It's in just like how many days?
Yeah.
A week from Saturday.
And then we've got our first Piedmont Healthcare Friday after 5.
Less than a month away.
So it's crazy.
It really is.
But that's good. All the good fun stuff you can do in downtown Statesville.
I know. The weather's warming up.
Yeah.
So we're getting out there.
Yeah, people are getting out. It's always good.
It is.
So what have you got for us today?
Well, I always have to talk about my next event and my sponsors and get all that stuff out of the way.
Absolutely.
So I do want to talk about Wine Walk for just a minute. It is April 23rd from 3 to 7. Tickets are $22.50 in advance, so you want to get that deal. That's a great deal.
Oh, yeah.
So we got 32 locations, over 60 wines for you to choose from. Your ticket gets you a cute little glass. And get you 20 samples, and those are 1 ounce samples. So for $22.50, that's a hefty amount of wine.
Yes, it is.
We're gonna have a trolley. So many of our locations are doing some cool things. We've got a bluegrass band at Griffin Insurance. Jan May's down at Lake Norman Pool and Spa is getting her green egg out. She's gonna be grilling some pork loin with some kind of cherry glaze. The Sharp House is doing chocolate covered cherries.
Of course they are.
I mean, it's some delicious stuff out there. So it's gonna be a lot of fun. So you can get your tickets on our website, which is www.downtownstatesville.com. And our sponsors for that are Griffin Insurance and Wine Maestro, our presenting sponsors. We have business sponsors, Statesville Jewelry and Loan and Banner Drug. And then our patron sponsors are Jenkins Cleaners and Johnson Greenhouses. And we want to say thank you because we couldn't do these amazing events without our sponsors.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Get your tickets today.
Exactly. Just go on the website and find them.
Yeah.
Pay for them on site, the whole 9 yards.
Everything's right there.
Excellent.
Yeah.
I like it.
So, and then Friday After 5 starts May 6th. So that's free. Come downtown, bring your chair.
Yep.
We've got food trucks. We've got some, again, great sponsors for that. I'm not going to go through all those right now.
That's fine.
We'll get into that another time.
And, of course, there's always great beverages as well.
Yes. We'll have beer and wine. And Southern Distilling is going to have a nice little cocktail out there this year. So.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very cool. All right, good.
But then let's talk about our guest today.
Yes, let's.
I'm excited. We just finished Art Crawl, so we thought we'd bring in some artsy folks today. We have Emily Baker from Iredell Museums, and she's going to tell us about some fun stuff they have going on. And then we have John Ross, and John just put a new sculpture in our sculpture garden called Scribble. So he's going to tell us about that, and he's got some pieces in Lee Dellinger's art gallery as well. So
cool.
So let's get started. Miss Emily, would you like to go first? Tell us what's going on at the museum.
Absolutely. I'm Emily. I'm Programs and Operations Manager at Iredell Museums, and right now, we have a few exhibits. We, of course, have our 3,000-year-old Egyptian mummy, Margaret, permanent display. We also still have our Fort Dobbs archaeology exhibit, and we just put up a baseball exhibit that features and highlights Herm Starrett, who was a baseball player from Statesville.
That's right.
In the major leagues, he was also a coach for several major league teams. We also have a wonderful lecture series going on, made possible by the North Carolina Humanities and National Endowment for the Humanities. And our next lecture is next Thursday at 6:30, and it is Dr. Rob Ferguson. He's associate professor at Western Carolina University, and his lecture is called Carolina in My Mind, A Brief History of North Carolina's Influential Music Innovators. And I thought that that would be a perfect one for the WAME crowd because we're going to get into some music history, some local music history.
It's great.
Yeah. And then May 19th, we have Dr. Warren Eugene Miltier Jr., who is assistant professor of history at UNC Greensboro, and his lecture is called Freedom in the Days of Slavery, North Carolina's Free People of Color. And then our last one will be June 16th by Dr. Ashley Oliphant and Beth Yarborough, and they'll be talking about Jean Lafitte, who was a pirate, and apparently he has North Carolina connections.
Arrgh.
So if you want to hear about that, definitely join us on June 16th.
So are those online still, or are those live lectures now?
So we're doing in person. We have been recording them, but we want to get people into the museum. And I think that's the best way to do it, because that way you can interact with the speakers, you can ask questions at the end, and you can also get some light refreshments, which you don't get at home. So,
And they're free, or is there a cost?
so they are free, but we do request a donation of $5 to $10.
Perfect.
You can't beat that. That's a great price for that. That's fab.
Yeah, absolutely. We try to make as many events as accessible as possible to everybody. Our next big thing is April 23rd. We have our first Living History event at Gregory Creek Homestead. That's on Museum Road. And so during that, we're going to have a few special things in addition to our 18th century demonstrations. We're going to have a bake sale fundraiser called Gourmet to Go. We're also going to have Andrea's ice cream. So you can get some cake, and then you can get some ice cream, and then you can have your own little birthday party. And then we'll also have permanent signage, which we've needed at Gregory Creek for a while. So it's going to be educational signage as well as, a general welcome to Gregory Creek thing. So you guys should definitely come and look at that as well.
And what's the time for that?
So that is 11 to 3 on April 23rd, which is a Saturday. It gets you done right before you come to Wine Walk.
Exactly. You go there, then you come to Wine Walk. It's perfect.
I like that. You walk off the wine when you get out there. I do like the Gregory Creek, and it's cool that you're going to do those signs, because there's really not anything there to tell you what building is what and what's doing this. So
Right. So
I like
we'll
that.
have a few about general Iredell history, as well as some specific things like farming and agriculture in the 18th century, medicine and healthcare, that sort of thing. So it'll give people an idea of what they're actually looking at when they go there, which I think is pretty helpful.
Yes, it is. And it's really cool. And these are actual real old buildings that they took apart and put back together.
Yes, they're from
move there.
around Iredell County, relocated, and they're all from the late 18th century into the 19th century, so 1700s, 1800s. So they're really cool to check out if you've never seen a historic cabin before.
There you go. Cool. Well, that's exciting. The Iredell Museums, of course, these lectures and everything, are they going to be at the Court Street Gallery?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yep, 134 Court Street.
Can't miss it. There's I think there's a big drawing of, or a painting of Margaret. Is there not? I saw on one of the windows. Isn't there?
We have some ancient Egyptian paintings on the top level there, so you can check those out outside. But it's more fun to come in and see Margaret.
Yes, it is.
And what
Bless
are
her heart.
What are your normal hours?
Our normal hours right now are Thursday, Friday, 10 to 3, and then Saturday, 11 to 4.
Oh, you're going to have Jason and Danny out playing music at the homestead.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I can't believe I forgot to say that.
I just now saw
Wicker
that.
and
Well,
wood.
You were excited about the ice cream and cake.
I really was.
That's exactly right. So that's going to be cool too. So yeah, make sure you go out and see that. Fabulous. If somebody wants to join the museums, how do they do that?
So you can either do that on the website. We have a membership page, so you can see all the great benefits, or you can stop by and we can set you up in the museum.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
cool.
So
Excellent.
that's IredellMuseums.org.
Yes, there's an S on that museum, by the way, isn't it?
Yes.
Museums.
Yes, since we have a few properties, we're plural.
That's right. Well, it's spread out everywhere. That's right. Very cool. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right. So who else did you bring with you today?
So we have John Ross, and so John's from Morganton, and today's the first day I've gotten to meet him, so I'm excited to hear about how he got into sculpture and what Western Carolina, is that where you went? Western Piedmont?
No, I went to my community college, Western Piedmont.
Western
Yeah.
Piedmont.
In Morganton.
Yes,
Right.
and started there. Well, actually, I started in high school. I took some sculpture classes. I took this one sculpture class in high school that really put me on track to do what I'm doing now. If that teacher wouldn't have got me into this, I don't think I'd be doing this right now. So very grateful for that teacher.
Absolutely. So when you hear of sculptor, I just think of, David or a statue or something like that. But your sculpture is different.
I'd say it's a little bit, I'd say it's different. It's a little bit abstract. It's abstract. It's fun. It's colorful. I think it gets your imagination going when you see them.
Right.
They have a kinetic aspect, so they move in the wind.
Yes. So going back all the way back to high school.
Yes.
So you started out like, oh yeah, that chair does that sort of thing. Sorry about that.
No, you're good. No worries.
That's right. There's some very large guys that sit on that on Thursday nights. But anyway, back in high school, I mean, did you have that flair to begin with, or did you just say, it's my senior year, I got to take a class, I need credit?
No, I've always been interested in art. I've always honestly been interested in building things. Since I've been a little kid, I've been playing with Legos. And then it involved, it was Legos, and then it went into, I got into skateboarding, so I started building all these skateboard ramps. So it's always been building. I've been building something.
Interesting.
Then as soon as I started doing some art and getting kind of into that sculpture stuff, like it just went from building ramps to I'm building sculptures now. And then
right.
It just keeps on going. I just can't stop doing it.
So, so then you moved on to Western Piedmont, and they have art. They have art, or just general classes.
They have a Associates in Fine Arts program.
Oh, okay.
And so I went through that, and at the same time I went through the welding program. And that was that really opened all the doors up for me when I started learning how to weld. Because before, like the first couple of sculptures I built, my little tiny ones I had built in high school, my brother had to weld them up for me.
Oh.
So, and then he was taking some classes.
It was a collaboration.
There you go.
Yeah.
And so he started taking some classes as well at Piedmont, and I got in there with him, and then we kind of just kind of pushed each other to build cool stuff a little bit, and it just keeps on going from there. Yeah.
And here you are. That's
exactly.
right. So any kind of sculpture, and you could probably, I don't know, what was your major when you were?
I have a degree in art history and American history.
Okay, so you have the history background. Maybe not the arts background, but yeah, some, right?
I have a degree in art history.
Art history.
Art history.
Yes.
Well, that's history. Can you draw and paint and weld?
No, that's why I got a degree in art history.
That's great. So, so you look at, especially down at the sculpture garden, and the horse. I can't remember the horse. Williamston is up here. It's a welding project, I suppose.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, and so it's just all these pieces and parts put together, and it looks like a horse. What's your inspiration? I mean, if we go down and look at, the real name was Zigzag to begin with. I'm just telling you that now. I'm leaving. It's a secret that I'm telling everyone.
Uh-oh.
So, what's it called now, though?
It's called a Scribble.
Scribble. Okay. So, what's the inspiration with that?
With the mobiles, not the mobiles, but with my sculptures I'm building now. Honestly, I'm building 2 or 3 of them at a time. So I kind of feed off each of them as I build. Like I don't usually go out with a plan, like a drawing, unless it's like a really big sculpture and I need to plan something out. If it's like a fun size sculpture, like the one in the sculpture garden down here in Statesville, that's kind of just, I just go out in the studio and start cutting and welding stuff. And that's what I end up with.
That's fun size?
Yeah.
I usually think of fun size as being the small stuff. That's a big sculptor.
Oh, I got stuff that's 16 foot at the house.
No way.
Yeah, we got
my
big stuff that
gosh.
turns in the wind.
So I just am looking you up on the interwebs, and the fire department's coming to visit. That always does. So been creating sculpture for about 10 years now, and with every sculpture that comes into reality, it changes and pushes my imagination more each time. Thanks, guys. Have a great day. We don't have a soundproof studio. That's the thing we got to have here. So I'm looking at your different sculptures online. I wish I could show them on the.
Isn't it cool? Even his website
on the radio
revolves like a.
It's kinetic as well.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's they're very colorful. A reason for that?
Colors make people happy.
Okay.
That's like the first reaction I get when people come up to these, and like if I'm there in person, like at a show or something, and people come up to these big ones. That's the first thing they say. This makes me happy. All these colors just made my day. So it's like, why not make things that make people happy?
Well, there you go. I'm looking at behind the scenes, and
Oh, the behind the scenes one wasn't finished.
Okay, well, I was going to say
There's just some random pictures on there to hold as a placeholder.
It's a work in progress.
I wondered about that.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, look, leaves. To read more about you, you still live in Morganton?
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
I still live in Morganton.
That's
born
crazy.
And raised there. Born
That's
and raised.
crazy. You get it? Right, crazy. Broughton, Morgan. Okay, fine.
Billy.
Okay, fine.
So you've got some of your pieces here in Statesville at
Yes,
Lee
ma'am.
Dellinger's Fine Art, which is located at 120 West Broad Street. He's got a piece in our sculpture garden. Where else do you have your work?
I have a big installation up at the Hickory Salt Block.
Oh,
There's 5
yeah.
large pieces up there. There's a big.
I assume they're outside.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
They're kinetic as well. I have a big piece down in High Point on the Greenway. That's part of their Greenway project they're working on.
Cool.
I got a piece in Mississippi right now that's on display for the University of Mississippi College. We're going to go to Missouri next week to go deliver a sculpture to Springfield. Got stuff going on everywhere, really.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So if somebody wants to buy a piece, they just kind of can contact you on the website, or
Well, yeah, you can contact me through the website, or that's usually the best way to get a hold of me. My info's on there, and I kind of have like at my house I have a studio, and I would say it's kind of like a showroom what I got going on there. I got all the sculptures out in the yard.
They
It's
look like,
kinda-
they're in the yard.
You can see. I think there's some pictures on the website of the yard and everything.
Yes. And I'm looking at the different sculptures. There's a person. I could tell that's a person right there who has an issue. So do you get that with like old guys like me who look at like a Picasso and go like, what drug was he on? Do you get older folks looking at your sculpture pieces going like, what was he thinking?
Honestly, no.
Oh, good.
No.
They just
No.
see the colors and it's kind of whimsical, would you say?
That word gets used a lot. Yes.
Okay, that's good. But they are cool. If you go on the website, which, by the way, is johnrossmetalsculptures.com. Put metal in there. So do you do anything else besides metal?
No.
Have you tried anything else?
I use some like rocks and stuff, some stones sometimes. I'm getting into some plexiglass stuff right now. I'm starting to expand like right now. Right now is the expansion point.
Well, it is, and how cool it is that a city has got you as a permanent display. High Point, right? Did you say?
Yeah, High
Was
Point's.
that-
Yeah, High Point's a
High
permanent
Point-
one.
Hickory?
Yeah,
Hickory.
and then the Hickory ones are
Mississippi?
permanent?
Yeah, they're there forever.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
They're not just to view.
Temporary or nothing. No.
Okay, so and we've got yours is temporary here, so we get to view it for a while, or did we keep it? Are we keeping it?
Well, let's hope we keep it.
All right.
Hey,
very cool.
and I forgot to mention, though, there's one in the Newton courthouse. I have a big one inside the courthouse in the atrium in there.
Really?
Yeah, that was a pretty cool one to put in.
Is it along the same lines as the other ones? There's one in
It's
here
a lot
that's-
bigger than the one that's downtown right now.
and it's inside.
Yeah.
Wow. Which one?
It's called Redfish. It should be on the website. It's pretty big. It's one where I'm going up a ladder
Okay.
beside it.
I will. I'll find it here in a minute.
Okay. I'll show
Right,
you
there's-
whenever.
Oh, look, there's some in the snow. And there's a big. No, that's a black and white picture. Thought it was a black one sitting on rocks. Is that you were?
That's one of the ones with stone in it. Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. That is very cool. So check out that website. You'll see all these great sculptures, and some are tabletop size.
We got sculptures. I have sculptures that go from 8 inches tall to 16 feet tall. So there's something in there for anybody.
So does your brother still help you at all, or did you leave him in the dust?
Well, no, my brother, he was taking welding classes because he works on cars. He's into cars.
Oh.
But that kind of leaks over to me because he builds he has like an old Volkswagen Bug, and he's like built it up really, really cool. And so he's real particular, like fancy little bolts here and there. So that's kind of like my work's gotten a little bit more detailed over the years because of that.
Yeah, I mean that's detail. That's
his art.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is. people pay a
Because
lot of money.
car people have a very detailed mind when it comes to their cars.
They really do.
So it's kind of looked
Yeah.
over for me a little bit, yeah.
So, are you what we would call a starving artist, or are you doing well?
Sounds like he's doing pretty well, Billy.
I do okay. There's always room to grow.
That's what I hear. We had the students from North Iredell in for the art crawl, and they had different paintings, different mediums on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked one who was kind of Picasso-esque. I was like, "Oh, what did you mean by this?" And they just kind of stared at me and walked away. So it's like, who's that strange man over there talking to me? But they all have that great eye. It's for color and coordination, and the way they mix it together is pretty special. I kind of like it.
Yeah, that's something that takes years. I mean, years to practice and keep learning on and making that, perfect if you could.
Yeah.
You know?
So this is great. So check out that website for John Ross Metal Sculptures, and pick out one for yourself. Will you do a? What do you call it when you ask for a piece? When you ask to build a piece?
Commission?
Oh, yes.
A commission.
No, yeah, I commission pieces.
Okay. But if I say I want a
Well, it's got to be the realms that, like, within my work. I'm not gonna do something too weird. Weird would be what I would, what I would consider weird.
so it's not like I want a sculpture of my wife, and then it looks like what you normally sculpt.
If it looks like circles and lines, sure.
I like that. Do a sculpture of Liz. What's your concept of Liz?
It's one of those whirligig
Yeah,
things
well,
up there.
she spins around as it is. She's that
There's
way.
all
That's
kinds
right.
of stuff going on in here.
That's a
Always
fact.
on the move.
That's right. Well, this is great. Thank you so much, John.
Hey, thanks for having me.
For dropping by. And everybody go down to the Sculpture Garden and see it. It's next to the Statesville Historical Collection. And
Yes,
also
on the corner of Water Street and North Center Street.
That's right. All right. Sounds across from the CVS.
Yeah, so lots of fun, artsy things to do in downtown Statesville.
That's right. So, and don't forget, you can join Iredell Museums by doing what?
You can either go to our website, iredellmuseums.org, or you can stop on by and see us, and we'll help you with that.
I'm sure you will. And say hello to Margaret. All right, Liz. So, again, another several weeks coming up here. Well, months coming up with all sort of good stuff going on.
And I forgot to mention, we're still doing our haunted ghost tours, too, every fourth Saturday of the month.
Oh, that's right. I keep forgetting about that. It's not just Halloween anymore.
No, we have one coming up April 23rd.
Okay.
So if you
Starts
want to
at the Sharp House?
No, it starts at City Hall.
Okay.
But the historic Sharp House players are our tour guides. So they dress up and they tell you great historical ghost stories.
Indeed.
So while you walk around Statesville, it's a fun time.
So if we want to find out more about downtown Statesville, where do we go?
You go to www.downtownstatesville.com, or you can give me a call at 704-878-3436. I'm there most of the time, and I'll be happy to talk to you.
Sounds good. Thanks, Liz.
Bye.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, it's 28 after 10.
Spring is finally here, and it's time to get your garden going. Come into Steel Farm Greenhouses for a great selection of items for this year's garden. Broccoli, cabbage, onion starters, collards, over 20 varieties of tomatoes in stock and ready to go.